The Oklahoma Sooners got their first commitment in the 2027 recruiting cycle. Let's discuss who that is coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks again for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We're going to go through your Friday fan feelings in the third segment, discussing how you feel about the Oklahoma Sooners 1 week into fall camp. If you've got a Friday fan feeling that you'd like to share, make sure you drop it in our YouTube chat over on Twitter or on Facebook as well, and we'll go through some of the best ones each week here on the show. The Oklahoma Sooners got their first commit in the 2027 recruiting class. This one, Luke Wilson, offensive tackle from South Lake Carroll, a Dragon becoming a Sooner.
Came out of nowhere. Like, I wasn't prepared for it, but I saw the graphic drop, and I was like, where'd this come from? Talked to my guy Coop, and Coop had spoken with him. He had decided last night that he was ready to be all in, called Coach Bill Beatonbow, let him know. And, you know, he came up for one of the BV camps, and that's when he was just sold on not only the staff, Jim Nagy, and I think Jim Nagy was really pressing for him. He was a player that he wanted. He's got the measurables you're looking for an offensive lineman that's got that prototypical, capabilities. He says he wants to be over 300 pounds by the time he gets here. He's about 280 now, but he's 6'7", John. He's a giant. So you add another giant out there at tackle. Sign all of us up. We would love to have somebody like this. And now we just need to see him shape out as a player, and I think he's going to get there.
Currently an unrated prospect, but give that time and he will start to get some ratings from the recruiting sites and find himself among the stars. He's got blue chip potential, in my opinion, and he's got a year and a half to prove it at the high school level. He's got 2 more seasons of high school ball before he can enroll with the Sooners, assuming he stays committed that long.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
This is a guy that it reminds me a little bit of the Ryan Fodje recruitment. You know, Ryan Fodje was an unrated prospect when he went to Brent Venables football camp in the summer of 2024 or 2023, I guess.
Yeah. 23.
Yeah.
It was early 23. It's like beginning of the year.
So long ago.
So long ago.
Got his offer actually in August of that year. Committed to the Sooners later in the winter time.
It was like February.
And by that time, he was only a 3-star prospect and really started to see his recruitment take off. But this kid has the same potential in my mind. You mentioned the frame. He's got offensive tackle frame to him. I really like the way that he moves. He moves well. He shows good strength. He has good footwork. And he's a dude that's getting a lot of snaps at left tackle. And that's an encouraging thing. He's going to have a lot of experience. And that South Lake Carroll Dragon team, I mean, that's a good football program to be recruiting from. So it's an intriguing prospect. We'll see how he continues to develop. If he's able to get to 300 pounds by the time he gets on campus, that would be absolutely huge. Then it's a matter of just shaping his body and then working on getting him up to 320 and getting him to a better playing weight. But I like the potential. I like what he's got to work with. And again, if Bill Beatonbow's identifying this talent at the BV football camps, I'm encouraged, very, very encouraged about what this guy can do.
And that's what you got Jim Nagy and that staff for. They start to identify some of those players that the coaches say, hey, I like this guy. What do you think? You look at him like, he's got all those measurables. I remember Nagy said this when we went through, did the interview, when I interviewed him at SC Media Days, and he said that the one thing that they didn't do a lot of was the measurables, like, heights, weights, doing all of that stuff at the actual camps. They bring them in, run through some drills, get an understanding of the skill set, and then they be like, all right, you can determine if it makes sense to give them an offer. He's like, but they're doing more of the combine type stuff now. And because of that, they're able to identify kids like, oh, okay, you're this tall, but you got this type of wingspan. So you're like 6'2", but you got a 6'8" wingspan. That means you got some freakishly long arms. Yeah, we need to go ahead and put you on this roster because you'll have an advantage. And depending on the position that they play, if it's an interior guy and they got little arms, make you a little nervous because they can't get that punch up, right? But, you see Luke, And you see him, the way he moves on that offensive line, like you said, he does a great job of moving for his size. He can get out there and he can seal those blocks on the edge very well, especially from his tape. He got some long arms. So that means he can probably get a hold of somebody from a distance and prevent them from being able to get their move off, which is a pretty big deal. It's kind of the stuff that you're looking for. And so when we talk about NFL measurables, just elite characteristics and measurables in general, Luke has that. And like you said, I give him by the end of this year, he'll be rated at minimum 3-star, and I can see him flying up to 4-star ratings with no problem.
Yeah, has offers from Florida State, TCU, several other schools in the state of Texas like UTSA, UTEP, Arizona State is also interested. And if Kenny Dillingham is interested, I'm interested.
A lot of y'all like Dillingham. A lot of y'all do. And his brother plays at James Madison.
So this is a very, very intriguing cat, and I think he's going to be one of those players that, as the fall of 2025 goes through the season, and he's getting junior tape out there, that more schools are going to try and see if they can get in on this recruitment and maybe lure him away from Oklahoma. Because again, got big time size, big frame, and he's going to be somebody that has big time offensive tackle potential at the next level.
I need to look at this up. I was wanting to look this up. I remember I saw on his profile on social media on X, the expert, that he had his wingspan. He has an 81-inch wingspan. I don't know. I honestly don't recall seeing or hearing about a player having an 8 in front of the number of the wingspan that they have. 81-inch wingspan, John. What? 6'7", 290 is what he's listed himself at now. And he did say he plans on being well over 3, hopefully by 310 by the time he gets to campus. But an 81-inch wingspan, John? 81 inches.
So for comparison, Tyler Guyton was 82 and a quarter.
Jesus.
So that's
they're about the same height.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I can't find Anton Harrison's. I'm curious about it. Looks like Lane Johnson, 85-inch wingspan. That's what I'm seeing here.
Goodness gracious.
But still, you get over 81 inches, and you're looking at a really good measurable. And again, you're just a sophomore in high school going into your junior year. There's still potential for growth. Like, your growth is not necessarily done just yet. Now, you probably don't want to necessarily get him much taller, but if he can fill out more and those arms get a little bit longer, I think that will definitely benefit him. But anything above 80 is going to be really, really good to playing tackle at the collegiate level and then maybe even beyond. But good athlete, good size, looks really, really strong. Again, for a sophomore in high school, going to continue to physically develop. So there's a lot of potential here with Luke Wilson. First commit of the 2027 recruiting class. Certainly not the last. We'll have you covered on all of it here on Locked On Sooners. Make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Friday Fan Feelings coming up next here on Locked On Sooners. Who's feeling it? Who's not? We'll discuss.